As a student who owns a car on campus, what precautions are you taking to avoid armed robberies?
Well, I usually don't park around the F, L, and E building. That's where they usually happen at the most, from what I can tell. From being here for 4 years, they usually get people usually get robbed over there. We usually call them the low key hood part of the state, but that's just what we call it, the students anyway.
Do you feel that schools should strengthen its surveillance and security to resolve this issue?
Um, yeah, we they should have more police officers on patrol at night to stop most of the robberies and fix up the gates around campus because there's a lot of gates with holes in them. Like over there behind Mitchell, it's a big hole that's been there since my freshman year, and I'm a senior right now.
Do you believe we should have more cameras installed around campus to alert campus police?
Uh, I think we could have more cameras, but I don't think that would be effective if nobody's actually watching the cameras. So they'll probably have the whole instance recorded, but they won't do anything until much later on when they check the cameras, in my opinion.
So what would you do instead?
I would just get the gates fixed and make sure we have more patrols, police patrols at night instead of just having one or two cars around the Houdini exit area of the campus by the back exit.
Do you feel that armed robberies are a major concern for campus police on this campus?
From what I can tell, it's not really too much of a concern because I'm not saying it rarely happens, but it happens occasionally enough to the point where it might become a nuisance. But it only happens at certain times. Mainly during when refund drops, but nobody really knows when it's gonna drop.
Good morning, Orangeburg. It is 11:12 a.m. Thursday, September 28th. I am Sean Austin.
I am Al Fleming.
And today in breaking news, meteorologist San Quinn has reported that thunderstorms are moving to the Orangeburg area. The following counties will be under thunderstorm watch. That will be Bamberg and Holly Hill.
Also, Orangeburg County Police have just released a sketch of the suspect wanted in connection to the murder of Henry Watkins that occurred on the night of August 15th on Magnolia Street. Police say the suspect is a black male, 6'1", with a beard and a distinctive red tattoo that reads Oberg.
In other news, reporter Mike Edwards has a local story about a local sheriff embezzling $25,000 from the sheriff department. The sheriff is currently on administrative leave until the investigation is over. There has not been a date given for the trial yet. Also, summer is here, and as the temperature increases, so has prices. Reporter Jonathan Blake spoke with drivers on how they will adjust travel plans due to the rising gas prices. One driver said he will use his whole gas tank until it is all the way on E to his next fill up.
Also, reporter Blake was on the scene of the Orangeburg School Board meeting today. The Orangeburg School Board meeting met to make changes to the start time for the middle school students. At 5 o'clock, they reached an agreement that 9 o'clock was a good time slot for the students. This is done as a way to allow students to get a full 8 hours of sleep as needed for their health. By pushing back the start time, the school board hopes to see an increase in rising testing.
Next up, you will see how an overnight fire changed the lives of a family and a firefighter. Welcome back, Orangeburg. And in sadder news, a deadly overnight fire cost one family their home. Luckily, no one suffered from any major injuries. They were able to escape, but the firefighter does suffer from minor heat-related injuries. This fire took place on Stanley Street behind Pizza Hut.
Also this morning, Orangeburg City Council met to discuss a property tax increase. They say the increase will occur of $100 per year. The council believes this increase will increase business revenue and in the near future, hopefully increase the population of Orangeburg County as a whole. And lastly, North Myrtle Beach Mayor Marilyn Hately has discussed a beach renourishment plan to restore the beaches in North Myrtle Beach. She says this will in turn bring more tourists to the area once things have been set in place.
In Bamberg and Holly Hill, remember, as thunderstorms move into your area, please take all precautions.
Also, don't forget to tune in tonight at 7 to ESPNU for the North Carolina A&T versus South Carolina State University game.
I am Sean Austin.
I am Alan Fleming, reporting.
Go Bulldogs!
3, 2, 1. Breaking news is happening now in Lexington County.
Thursday night, Miss Andrea Williams was robbed at gunpoint, pistol whipped, and her 2-year-old son was kidnapped.
Mike Edwards is at the scene, who just spoke with the sheriff.
Ms. Williams was pumping gas at the Marathon gas station on Divine Street when 3 men approached her. Each had a gun. Police say the 2-year-old has been missing for 2 days. Amber Alert has been issued. No suspects have been identified.
So did you check your email for the midterm coming up?
I'm doing that right now, man. Dr. Mon tripping already.
So it's for the practical class. I don't know any criteria. I don't know what's going to go on, what's going to happen the next couple of days.
Brother got the whole midterm evacuation report today.
You know what? This is a lot going on. School's just freaking ending.
Last night, man.
It's
crazy.
For real. So we about to go up here, see these grades. What do you think you got?
I think I got a D in one of them classes, man.
So far, hopefully an A. Hopefully an A. Class is just very simple.
I know I failed that test last week.
Why you think so?
Hey, I ain't standing for it.
Oh my gosh. Hey, godliness is next to steadiness.
I know, man. But the party was the night before, so yeah.
Oh, right. Gotta get lit. Gotta get lit. It's about that time. I'm about to go talk to Mr. Banks about my test scores.
Yeah. So I gotta go talk to Dr. Thomas, man. I think that's the class I got that D in, man.
All right, hold that
Talking
down.
about. I'll let you know. I'll meet you later.
And as always, he's not in here. So I guess I'll be waiting. Dr. Banks, Dr. Banks.
What's going on, man?
Glad to see you here because I need to talk to you about a grade I have.
What's up, man? What's up?
So, on the last test, chapter 8, I think I received the A. I just need validation, so I know where to go about this midterm.
Yeah, you the only one who got an A, so I don't even have to
Really?
check. I don't have to check any books or anything. You got an A.
Okay, well that's all I need to say. Thank you for your time. Midterm's on the way, so I'm gonna achieve.
Yes,
And
please
believe.
do.
Indeed.
And just the man I need to see, man. See, man, I checked my Bulldog connection and stuff, man. I see I got a D on my little last test and stuff, man. What's going on with that?
That's your grade.
That's my grade. Man, I studied for that test.
Bruh.
Come on, man. You know midterms about to come up, man. What I'm supposed to do? If I fail this, I might not pass, man.
I don't know what to tell you. Larry Watson, a history professor here at South Carolina State University. We spoke with him to hear his take on how police officers can fix the relationship between them and African Americans.
Quite a bit can be done. I think one thing that has to happen is there's got to be more training for police officers, especially relates to to culturally sensitive items. Many police officers, even black police officers, are not fully appreciative of the African American community and its institutions. So I think one thing that can be done is to make certain police officers are better trained, especially in relation to the black community, but also just in the use of force in general.
Chief Joseph Nelson is the head of campus police at South Carolina State University. He has served on the police force for over 30 years. Here is his solution to end police brutality.
That was uncalled for. That was really uncalled for. That was bad. It gave law enforcement a black eye. Given the heightened attitude of most of the citizens in the United States when it comes to experience with the police, this was gut-wrenching. That was an awful case. Once I saw the video, played out on video, you know what I'm saying, that was terrible. And I just don't understand it. It goes back to training. A lot of these police officers, young police officers, are not trained the way we were trained. I've been in law enforcement over 30 years, and of course the training was a lot more intense. We specialized in, or we studied more so a use of force continuum, if you will. In other words, if somebody had a weapon or a gun to do harm to us, then three things came into play. It was called a three-pronged test: opportunity, ability, and jeopardy. If they had opportunity to use the weapon they had, okay. If there was time for us to get away or put distance between us and the weapon, the jeopardy part, you know, and then the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to evade the situation altogether. That's what we were trained to look at.
Kavashier Marin is a student at South Carolina State University. He himself was a victim of police brutality. Here is his story.
Handcuffs. Next, he beating my head on the back of the car. I'm like, "What's all this for?" He's like, "What's in the car? Y'all got you think we can search the car?" And I was like, "There ain't nothing in the car." So he look at me, he like, "What this is?" I like, "This apple juice." I had like the apple juice from Jasmine's. He like, "You sure it's apple juice?" I said, "Yeah, you can taste it if you want. It ain't no liquor, ain't nothing. It's just straight up pure apple juice." He was like, "Well, why you acting up looking suspicious or whatever?" I said, "What you mean?" I just got up, talking to him. I was on the dispatch. He said, "You pull y'all over because you looking suspicious in the back seat." I say, "Suspicious? Me just getting up from a nap?" I said, "Boy, come on, it's crazy." He continued like beating my head on the back of the car and roughing me up. And I'm over here getting mad, like I'm real mad. I started crying, like, "Yo, this is crazy." And before all that, all of us was in the car, like, we about to be the next hashtag or whatever, because that when police brutality, you see all these videos, people killing innocent black men. We all was thinking like, we about to be the next Mike Brown or Trayvon Martin, just be another innocent victim that's done through police brutality.
Police officers are indicted in fewer than 1% of killings, but the indictment rate for civilians involved in killings is 90%. According to the Washington Post, statistics show that blacks are accounted for 23% of those killed by police in 2017. 97% of the cases of police brutality that were tracked since 2015 did not result in any officers being charged with the crime. It also states that blacks were victims of excessive force by police, which is twice the race of the general population.